Hey everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video, and I want to start off looking at a couple of key asset classes. So let's start looking at the bond market here. Bond market here, you can see there's a lot of consolidation via TLT. Let's actually switch this over to the 30-year bonds, and you can kind of see we get certainly more action here to the downside. You got a squeeze here on a weekly chart that's about to fire off to the downside. I'm actually looking for a fairly decent move here down, no matter what stocks do. The bond market is telling us loud and clear that the global economy is kicking in. I've heard different theories about why that is, and of course, theories are a dime a dozen. But the most interesting one was the advent of cryptocurrencies. And although crypto's kind of crashed last week a little bit, I think the idea that that's bringing a lot of spending power into the economy. And I would argue that maybe that's a small part of it, but a lot of economies here. There's only two economies right now that are contracting, and it's Venezuela and Saudi Arabia. Every other economy on the planet is showing signs of growth, and it's the first time since like 2006 that that's happened. And when that happens, you typically get a sustained period of growth again before you get into any recessions or anything like that. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, in terms of looking at the stock market as a whole, and we always want to take a look at the S&P 500, we just continue to grind higher. Now remember, although it's high and extended, we still have a monthly squeeze that's in place. Now the tricky thing about something like this is just like, wow, nobody wants to buy this thing and be the person that bought it, right here, and then spends the next year watching it sell off, okay? Which is why we always want to look for these squeezes. These monthly squeezes are great times to buy. Now, because we just had one, we're not going to see another one for 2 to 4 years. However, we can see them on weekly and daily charts. Now, right now, we don't have anything on a daily or a weekly because this thing has been moving. But we are at a point where consolidation makes sense. So the stocks that I like here are stocks that have been consolidating. I like this chart right here, Thor Industries. You've got a squeeze, you had a nice pop here, it's been working that off, and we're just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So this is one where I am looking for the kind of the next leg higher. You can see the last time this popped up, consolidated, we had a squeeze, and in this case we went from $103 to $136, okay? I don't know if that's what's going to happen again, but nobody's selling this thing. When you see a high and tight formation like this, it just means there's no sellers. Nobody's buying it, but nobody's selling it, and that's super important. Everybody's just kind of hanging on to that. Or anytime there is a seller, there's a very, very eager buyer. So that's one thing I want to keep in mind there. And then in terms of, somebody was asking about Bitcoin here. Remember, on Bitcoin, this squeeze did trigger to the downside. We're only 4 bars in. So it certainly have the possibility here for more downward movement. So however active you are in the crypto community, I like trading the cryptos, but I'm also a trader, so it doesn't mean that the crypto markets are going to go straight up. At this point, I'm looking for a panic buying situation. Now, if from here we go up, I'm going to miss out on that because I've sold all my Bitcoins, but if we can get one more panic move to the downside, I certainly would be willing and able to do a buy on that. And from there, had some questions about marijuana stocks. So the one I like here the most, although this one's kind of quiet, GWPH, you do have a squeeze here. You can see that the momentum has been going down, but while the momentum has been going down, the stock's been consolidating. So that's pretty bullish. So we started picking up a position here. So what we need now is that, see right here, and then it started turning yellow. That's when we'd kind of look for the downward pressure to be released. So if we can get that, then I would actually start taking a fairly decent sized position and then looking for 143-ish on that. Okay, got a lot more to cover in the premium video. Hope it helps. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you at the next update.